Welcome to nwmediaman. In this instructional video, I'm going to show you how to turn your records into CDs. There are a few things you're going to need. First, of course, you're going to need a record player. Next, you're going to need a computer. It could be either a desktop or a laptop. Also, you'll need a connection cable to connect your record player to your computer. And lastly, you're going to need a recording program. I'm going to be using a recording program called Audacity, which you can both record your audio and do many types of edits. So first, let's hook up our record player to the computer with the cable. Record players have many different types of connections. This particular record player has two male RCA jacks. Other ones have female jacks, so however it needs to be configured, the other end of the cable is going to be the mini stereo plug, which is going to go into your computer. Another very common way that record players output sound are with RCA jacks right here. On this side you have line in, left and right, and this side we have line out, left and right. So that's going to work perfectly for our plugs. So all we're going to do is plug using the output side. We're going to plug the red into the red and the white into the white, just like that. Now let's connect the other end of the cable like this, the mini stereo plug, to our computer. Most computers will have a couple different inputs. Pink is always mono, blue is always stereo. I'm going to plug this into the stereo side 100% of the time when I'm going to be transferring records, because any newer type of record is usually in stereo. This is going to ensure that the other side, the red and the white RCA jacks, put a nice stereo sound through here. So now we're actually hardware connected. Now it's time to go ahead and get your record player. Hopefully it has all the different speeds that you need, but in this case we're going to use a 33. Let's put that on there, start it up, and start playing the record. Then we're going to come back over to here and open up our Audacity program. In the cassette to CD instructional video, showed you how to download this. But basically you just go to Google, download the Audacity program for free, Google search, go ahead and hit record, and we are recording this record right now. Let's move it to a different spot in the record here. Right now it is recording in stereo. This is a little bit higher than I'd like. Well, first I'm just going to zoom in a little bit, or excuse me, zoom out. It looks a little smaller. And then if I want to reduce the size of this input, let's get it back to where it's loud again. Right here I can reduce if it's kind of clipping. This brings it down a little bit. I'll put it about right there. Magnifying glass, zoom out a little bit. And it will just keep recording for hours and hours and hours until you're done. So let's go ahead and record a couple songs. We like the levels that they're at, so let's start it back at the beginning. Well, let's close this first. Stop that, close it, start a new track. Doesn't matter how much lead-in time there is because we can erase that later. Let's go ahead and start the record. Scrolling pretty fast. I usually like it to go see a little bit more, so I'm going to go up here to zoom out. It's a little magnifying glass with the minus sign, so I can see more of the big picture. So let's let that record a few songs. Okay, so we have about 4 songs recorded now, and everything looks good. Everything's in stereo. So let's clean this up a little bit and get it ready to make files for a CD. First of all, it's a little bit low volume. I want to kind of bring everything up a little bit. So I'm going to click over here to highlight the whole area, or if I wanted to, I could just drag all the way across like this, same thing. And I want to amplify the whole file. So we're going to go to Effect, up here at the top, click Amplify, and let's just pick a number 6. And sometimes you have to click this little box that says Allow Clipping, and then click OK. To amplify it, boom, look at that. Now it's a nice, louder sound. Okay, so we have 4 good songs here. So, on the end CD, I would like to have 4 separate files, so when I put the CD in, I can listen to any track I want. It's not going to just play as one long file. So we're going to make separate files. So let's start here at the beginning, and right now it's showing minutes. I'm going to zoom in using this magnifying glass with the plus sign and keep clicking it, it gets down to seconds. Now it's showing seconds. I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning, and it has a lot of this stuff here where, you know, anytime you play a record, this beginning stuff, you really don't need that. You don't want that on your new CD. So again, I'm going to highlight, pick it up here, go really close to the end here, about to there. Go up to the silence audio here, and now it's going to start right there. But I don't really want all this lead-in time here. There's about 6 seconds, so I'm just going to highlight that, knock off about 5 seconds, go to Cut, and now my file is going to start at the beginning of the song. Getting pretty close now. Let's stop that, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit with the little minus sign and get to where that song ends. Looks like it's somewhere around here, so I'll just kind of click there with my little cursor thing. Click the magnifying glass to zoom in. I'm down to seconds. Let's just come over this way a little bit. This is where the song ends right here. Let's listen to that. So there's a little bit of sound there we don't want. So I'm going to actually kind of silence this here, like that. And then, so that this doesn't just chop off, I like it to be a little bit smoother. So I'm going to take the last few seconds, right about to there. Now, since this is highlighted, I can do any number of things with it. And here, I want to fade it out. So I'm going to go Effect, down to Fade Out. And now it makes it a nice clean ending. Okay, now this is ready to export. So first I want to make sure that I have a folder where I want to keep all the files that I'm saving. Previous videos I just make a folder on the desktop called Favorite Songs or Voice Recordings. I'll just make a new one for this one. We'll just right click the desktop, go New Folder, we'll call it Record Recordings. Alright, so we'll go back, open that up. Now this file is all ready to save here, this first song. So I'm going to highlight here, I can start it here, and basically what I'm going to do is highlight it, because I'm going to save it. I'm going to highlight the whole song. Now you can sit there and wait for it to go through the whole thing, but I like to go a little bit quicker. So I'm going to let go of that, go to the zoom out tool, which is a little minus magnifying glass. Now you can see the whole thing. So now I'm going to pick it up again by left click and continue to drag it. Now that song's all ready. So now I want to save it as a file. So I'm going to go up here to File. Go down to Export Audio. And it's going to say where do you want to put it. And right now this is picking a different folder. So I'm going to find the folder that I just made. And just have to locate it. So I'm going to go to Desktop. And it shows all my folders on my desktop, and the one that I just made is called Record Recordings. Double click that, so there's that. Now I need to name the file. We'll just call it How about Beethoven -A. Save, and click OK. Now it's saving that file. That was all ready to go now. Now, since I'm completely done with this, I'm going to go ahead and hit the little scissors button, cut. Now that song's gone, and I can just do the same thing with the next song. So I'm at about 15-second increments. I'm going to zoom in until it gets about to seconds again. There we go. Go back to the beginning. Here's the lead in of about 3 seconds, which is a little longer than I'd like, so I'm going to just kind of cut a little bit of that off, highlight it, cut it. And then this, I'd like to just maybe fade it in a little bit. So just going to highlight a little piece of it like this. If I want to, I could zoom in as much as I want. You know, just highlight it like that. Go up to Effect. Remember, you can use Effect for anything that's highlighted. Fade in. Okay, so now that's going to play really nice. I'll go ahead and get a little wider view by zooming out. So I want to save this next song now as a separate file. And remember, these separate files are going to be separate tracks on your CD. So this is, you can see where this song ends, about right there. So right now we're about 30-second increments. I'm going to zoom in. Now we're down to seconds. And I'm just going to make this quick and easy. Just going to kind of highlight over the silence and where the song ends. It's highlighted. I'm going to do a nice little fade out effect. Fade out. Now this one's ready. So I'm going to highlight the whole thing. Again, you can sit there, it's going by seconds, you can drag it all the way across if you'd like. But I like to go quicker. Done this for so long. I'm just going to zoom out. And then pick it back up again. This. Okay, this highlighted file is ready to be saved. So I'm going to go up to File, Export Audio. Here's my same folder. It says Beethoven A. So I'm going to call this one Beethoven B. And the reason I put A, B, C like that, that way it'll, when it creates the CD, it'll put it in the exact order that the songs are on there. If you actually wanted to switch around the order of the songs, you could name them A, C, F, D, and it'll, when you're ready to burn the CD, it'll put them whatever order you want. So we're going to save this. We can hit Enter twice. There it goes. It's saving that file. That one's all done. And you can just keep going on and on like that. And we'll go ahead and close that out. Save changes, no. Oh, you know, one other thing. Say you recorded this and you want to work on it later. What you're going to do, you don't have to do it right now. You can record it, come back and edit it later. You go File, and instead of Export it, you can just go Save Project. We don't need to see that again, so I just click that little box. And we'll just call that Unedited Recordings. Save. Now it's saving everything here. It's not edited or nothing like that. I'll show you where that's at. Under my recordings, here's my 2 files right here that are ready to burn to CD. And this other one here is actually 2 parts that make up the saved project. So now, let's put these files onto CD. This particular computer is a Lenovo, which has its own burning software, which is really easy to use. But most computers, you know, are not Lenovos, so, you know, Windows Media type of stuff is more common, so I'll show you how to do it that way. Most computers have their own little different ways of making CDs, and yours will too, as long as it has a CD-ROM drive. So what we're going to do here is go up to where our files are. And here are our 2 files, Beethoven A, Beethoven B. All I did was highlight those. Next, I'm going to go Burn. It's asking me what I want to do. It already defaults to with the CD player, how do I want to use it. That's correct, so I'm just going to click Next. And like I say, so many computers are different. You just have to figure out how your computer burns. So it says, what do you want the title? It's just going to have the date, current date. Next, it's asking you, do you want to burn an audio CD? Your choices are make an audio CD for standard audio CD players. That's what most everybody's going to do. You don't want to do make a data CD because that one won't play. Next, and usually there's going to be a window blinking down here. Just need to click that up. And here's our files right over here. Actually, there's a couple extra in there. And then up here, you're going to go Start Burn, just like that. And you will have a CD with individual tracks for your records. Hopefully this instructional video has put you well on your way to recording your favorite audio onto CD. If for any reason you're having trouble downloading the free Audacity program from the internet, or you don't want to try to find the exact correct cables to use, I do have a kit available for $20. This kit includes the Audacity program, 2 cables. The main cable that you'll most likely use is this double mini stereo 3.5mm cable, and I include an additional cable which has 2 RCA jacks on one end and again the 3.5mm stereo plug-in. There's also a quick start guide which will cover most of the information in this video.